I don't think there is a lake in the world that is as blue as the one right behind me, with a snow-capped mountain even behind that, at an altitude of over 4,000 meters above sea level. This is a dream. This is what you come to Peru for, and this is specifically what you come to Huaraz for. Welcome to Laguna Parón. I'm literally freezing. Let's go get something warm. We are currently in the town of Huaraz, located in the northern part of Peru. We are north of Lima, we are north of Cusco, but nonetheless, we are still in the Andes, and in the early morning, it still gets quite cold indeed. The reason we're here in Huaraz is because there is a lake here in the mountains called Laguna Parón, and from what I've heard, it is one of the most beautiful lakes in the world. Like, it's supposed to be incredible. It's supposed to be a place that you dream about. It's supposed to have some of the bluest water. And I've been to Laguna Umantay. I don't know if you remember that in Cusco. That was already a very blue water lake. I can only imagine what this lake is gonna be like. We've paid for a tour. The tour is only 50 soles. That's there and back. It includes a guide. It doesn't include the entrance fee, so that's the only thing that we're gonna have to pay. But other than that, everything else for the day is pretty much set, which means that it should be a pretty easy day. It should be a pretty simple day. So let's go ahead. We're waiting for our tour, and before we know it, we're gonna be on our way to some of the most beautiful lakes in the world. Let's go. The tour company said from 8 to 8:10. He literally arrived at 8:07. Bus is right here. Let's get on it.
El siguiente asiento.
Alright, we haven't actually made it yet. This is clearly not the lake, but there is a little town on the way called Carhuaz that we've sort of stopped at. It's a cute little town, nothing to it, but this place is famous for their ice creams. They use a lot of interesting fruit, so we're gonna try some ice cream. But on the way so far, the tour guide has given us so much useful information. I mean, this valley is a very important valley here in Peru. Along the way, you'll see some of these Cordilleras Blanca, that's the white sort of mountain range. And actually, there are so many glaciers here. It is the most extensive system of glaciers in the tropics because we are actually quite close to the equator. Now, also, here in the valley is home to the tallest mountain in Peru. It's Huascaran, and when you are on the way, you can actually see the mountain sort of in the background. It really is imposing and it's massive. It's over like 6,600 meters above sea level. So there's a lot to see here. There's actually a lot to do here. A lot of mountains you can climb, and during the drier months, like during June, July, you can actually hike up to the top of Huascaran if that is something that interests you. But for now, I'm not really ready for hiking up a glacier. I'm ready for some ice cream. So let's go see what flavors they've got. They look más corto. Del cono, del pequeño cono. Alright, we got our ice cream. Asked him what the typical flavor was. He said lucuma, which is this orange colored thing. Not really sure what it's supposed to be like. Only 4 soles, you get a pretty big scoop. Ice cream for breakfast. I'm not going to complain. Let's try it out. That kind of tastes like a little bit like banana, actually. It tastes like a little sweet banana, like sweeter than normal banana without the starchiness of it. Oh, I really like that fruit. Apparently, it's a typical fruit here in the valley. You're only going to find it in Carhuaz. Is famous for their ice cream, so no better way to experience the local culture than through ice cream. All right, we got to get back on the bus. We're going to head off soon, so let's go. after a very bumpy ride, we finally made it. We haven't seen the lagoon yet, we haven't seen the lake yet. We've actually got to hike another 45 minutes up to the viewpoint, as you can see all the way up there. And then from there we'll be able to see the lake. We have 2 hours here, which is quite a bit of time, but not a lot of time. So let's go ahead, let's quickly make it up to the viewpoint as much as we can. We gotta get up there. And you can actually even take boats inside the lake, so there's a lot of things you can do. You can hike around the lake. It's not as restricted as Umantay around Cusco. Let's go ahead and let's start hiking up to the viewpoint here. This river here is the river that comes down from the lake. But we've been winding up and down that valley until we've gotten up here. Just gotta hike all the way up there now. Well, exactly 40 minutes later, we've made it to this view right behind me. Welcome to Laguna Parón. Right behind me has got to be one of the most beautiful lakes in the world. It's actually quite expansive. It stretches for roughly 3 kilometers all the way to the end at the base of the mountain, and the water is just blue. It's just so blue. Like, look at it right now. I'm not adding saturation, I'm not changing the color. That is exactly just how blue it is. It just doesn't change any color. It's not like, you know, it's sometimes at lakes like the shallower parts like lighter and then the deeper parts like a little bit darker. Here it's the same color throughout the entire lake, and it's just one pure light blue entire color the entire way. Now the deepest point is about 75 meters, so it is quite a deep lake if you think about it. But the thing is, this is a glacial lake, so all those mountains in the back you see, those are all glaciers that over time have just melted and melted and melted until they've created this beautiful blue lake that is honestly something you would imagine out of a postcard picture. I mean, I literally, this is my view. This is literally my view with the white mountain in the back. But the glaciers just over time sort of melt and they create this sort of beautiful blue lagoon that just sits here in the middle of the valley. Now, it's not the easiest place to get to, but once you get here, it is really, really worth it just to come to the viewpoint and look at how beautiful this place is. Now, like I said, you can also hike around the lake, but we don't really have time for that. We only have 2 hours, which means that we're not going to be able to do that today. But just enjoying the view here, flying the drone, that's just going to be something incredible. That's just something you can't get anywhere else. And the mountain in the back, it just looks incredible. It just looks amazing. In the backdrop of the lake, this is honestly a dream. And I know a lot of people go to Umantay in Cusco. I think this lake is better. You got less people, it looks better, and I think later we can go down and actually touch the lake. We may be under the sun. I mean, the sun is literally shining right behind me, and it may look like it's warm, but because we're at an elevation of over 4,000 meters above sea level, it's actually quite, I mean, it's not chilly, it's breezy. So actually having a nice sweater is worth it. I could take it off, I'd probably still be comfortable, but just because the sun is out doesn't mean the warmth is out. But I hate it, but we're gonna have to go back down. We only have 2 hours here, so gotta get down to the lake and see what it's actually like from a different perspective. Well, that's the faster way on the bottom, to get right to the lake. But we're not doing that today. Well, the hike up may have taken about 40 minutes, but the hike down, 20 minutes, and we were literally back down. Not too bad actually coming down. There are a few stones that are a little slippery, but other than that, not too bad. Well, now that we're back down here at the base, let's go and check out the actual lake itself. Let's go right to the edge of it. Ooh. That is some of the coldest water I think I've ever touched. It's refreshing. It's very, very refreshing. You can see actually right here how clear this water is. It is absolutely clear. But it is just so refreshing. I want to take a drink. I really want to drink some of the glacier water. Let's go. Oh, that's some of the freshest water you're gonna get. That literally is so fresh. It's like the freshest drinking water you're ever going to get. Now usually, as you can see, there are some boats right here. There are boats that will take you in and then you can go deeper into the lake. But unfortunately, we only have like 15 minutes left, so we're not gonna have time to go on a boat ride, unfortunately. There's a group that's actually rowing right over there. And they're just rowing in, just coming in. Definitely seems like if you're here and you have more time, and instead of spending all the time at the viewpoint, it would probably be a good idea actually to take a boat out and sort of enjoy the lake on the water itself. That sounds like something that's pretty fun. Oh, we're back on the bus. And we are on our way back to Huaraz. And just like that, we have made it back here to the center of the beautiful city of Huaraz. What a long day. I mean, look, the sun's already set. It's already dark, but also the thing is in the mountains here, sunset's a little bit early. It is really only like 6:30 p.m. and the sun has already set. So seems like it's a long time, but it really isn't. All right, let's talk about the day today. First off, Laguna Parón is a place that's definitely worth it. It is so beautiful. The lake is just so incredibly blue. It's just something that I don't think I've ever seen in my life. Yes, there are blue lakes around the world. I mean, Umantay is an example of one. But that lake is so blue because it's a glacial lake. And that's something that you're not going to see in a lot of places. So it's definitely worth it when you're in Peru just to come up to Huaraz, just to check it out. Now, in addition to Laguna Parón, there's like a whole bunch of other lakes. Because remember, there's a whole system of glaciers. So there's also a whole system of lakes that are spread out all across this area of Huaraz. So you could easily spend a week here visiting a lake every day. I mean, you could probably do that. You'd probably get bored of glacial lakes after a while, but it's definitely something that you could do when you're here in Huaraz. Now, I know a lot of people will probably want to go to the lake by themselves. And honestly, I'm someone who loves to go to places by themselves. If you saw my Laguna Umantay video, that's what I did. But this one is a little bit trickier. And the reason for that is because the transportation is a bit of an issue. When you get there, you still have to hike about 10 kilometers up to the actual viewpoint through the valley. And I don't know if you've seen that valley. It's not an easy valley to hike through, especially when you're at like 4,000 meters above sea level. In addition to that, by the time you get up to the viewpoint, you probably won't have much time because then you'll have to hike down again. So doing it with a tour probably makes the most sense unless you're very fit and you're willing to climb 10 kilometers uphill most of the way and reach the lake, at which point you'll probably have to start really early in the morning. The good thing about the tour is that they start a little later. They start at 8 in the morning and you get back around 6:30, so it's not too late. It's convenient. Everything's sort of packaged in for you. Transportation is covered and all you have to do is hike up to the the viewpoint of the lake. So aside from that, I would say the big benefit of doing it with a tour is that everything's organized, everything's done for you. And the transportation is a big issue because the last thing you want is to be stuck there at Laguna Parón and have no way to come back to Huaraz. So that is probably the best way to do it. In addition to that, you also stop off at Carhuaz, which is where you get the ice cream. And that's a really interesting one because they do have a lot of classic flavors that you're literally not going to get anywhere else. That town is literally known for their ice cream. So it's definitely worth a visit to try out the ice creams here in Peru as well. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. I'm currently in the Plaza de Armas, the Plaza Central here in Huaraz. But from here, I'm going to say goodbye, good night, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.